everyone, it's Mel here and welcome back to Mel's Blind Life, the channel all about blindness. Today I have got an exciting video for you guys, a video that I have been waiting to do for a very long time, talking about accessibility on my most recent cruise on the Golden Princess. Hi, this is Mel Stephens. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My guide dog Darcy and I would like to teach you all about blindness. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and get all of my updates. So before I get fully started on this video, I need to make a couple of disclaimers. The first is that this video is not sponsored or endorsed by Princess Cruises or any affiliated companies. I am doing this fully on my own. So I have got no sponsorship or anything from Princess Cruises. I just thought I should make that perfectly clear. The other thing is, if you hear strange hissing or growling or jingling of bells or anything like that in the background of this video, that is because my two cats, Sam and Millie, are only 48 hours into their relationship, and Millie is not terribly thrilled by the new arrival. And even though she goes onto the bed or something where Sam is, she still sits there and growls and hisses at her. So if you're wondering why there's growling and hissing in the background, if there is growling and hissing in the background, that is why. Don't worry, they won't hurt each other. At least they haven't yet. The really important thing about going on a cruise is finding your way around both dependently and independently. So I'm just going to show you how myself and my friend Judy, who we travelled with and has also done a series of videos about the cruise, and I'll link them in the description as well. I will show you now how myself and my friend Judy, who is in a wheelchair, actually get around the ship with me using sighted guide. Cane in her left hand, and I have got the other end of my cane in my left hand, and Judy's driving her wheelchair so she can guide me. I can walk safely and she can walk safely. Really great way of using sighted guide when I'm traveling with Judy, and we tend to travel like that quite a lot, even when we're on land. Now, we did actually also take a sighted friend with us who was part friend and part support worker, so if we required sighted guide, we could just do sighted guide with her the traditional method. Another thing that we did a lot, especially when entering and exiting places such as dining rooms or when we were getting on and off the ship and things like that, was we had the blindy train, as I'm going to call it. So the blindy train, what we did was we had our friend Elizabeth, who was our support worker and friend, up the front. And then what we used to do, because it was myself and my parents who were both blind and have low vision, what we did was we had one person hold Elizabeth's arm in the traditional sighted guide technique, and then myself and my father, for example, would follow my mum and our friend Elizabeth. So what would happen was mum would have Elizabeth's elbow, dad would have mum's shoulder, and then I would have dad's shoulder. So that was a really good way of keeping narrow for walking around between tables and stuff, but also finding our way, not getting lost, and being able to move safely and effectively when we were together. Also, when we were together and we were in less crowded environments, such as just walking around the ship in corridors or places where there weren't as many people, what we basically used to do was we would just use our canes and independently navigate our way around. Sometimes we would do this with Elizabeth and sometimes we would do this without Elizabeth. I must point out to you guys that my parents and I have been on the Golden Princess. This was our second trip on the Golden Princess. Our last trip on the Golden Princess was a 13-night trip. So my mum and myself especially know the way around the Golden Princess quite effectively, I'm gonna say. So it was very easy for us to recall our way around the ship, and I think that we did fairly well to navigate the ship, because you've got to remember that there were 2,500 passengers and 1,100 crew on this ship, and we were navigating around it sometimes in very busy places. So anyway, traveling independently using our canes was also a very effective way of getting around. The other thing was sometimes my father, who can see a tiny bit, could assist my mother and I when we were getting from place to place by just stopping us from walking into walls. Sometimes he could see his way around people if we were in a really crowded part of the ship. So having that little tiny bit of vision also helped. Now I'm going to also show you a little bit of independent mobility, how I walk up the corridor and find my stateroom. Corridor in the ship is quite okay for most of the time, until such time as you land in front of a trolley, which I'm hoping that there might be some in this corridor. So far, however, on my way home, I haven't run into a trolley. It's not really that difficult. You just have to go around it and stick close to the wall, but it can be frustrating. Now, that is where the lift well is. And so my room, you can actually hear our neighbours. My room should be right here, and see we've got the little doggy in our doorknob. So as you saw there, that cute little guy handle on the cabin door is very useful. For those of you who couldn't see, he is a little guide dog puppy teddy bear, probably only about half the size of an iPhone, and we actually tied him using a rubber band to the handle of the door so that we could find our cabin, and his nickname or name is Handle. And we actually gave Handle to a friend of ours at the end of the cruise. Anyway, that is an important part of mobility around the ship. Another thing about mobility around the ship that I really wanted to show you was accessing the stairs and lifts, because accessing the stairs and lifts can be a bit complicated. About the ship, guys, is that the lifts are actually, as silly as this is going to sound, the lifts are actually inaccessible. So instead, I take the stairs. Luckily, I know that there's 8 and then a return and then 8 more. And the reason why the lifts are inaccessible is because, I'll try and show you. Whoops, no I won't. Now, how do I get out of this little trap that I've got myself into? The midships lift, and I'll explain to you why we don't use it, is because there are lifts all over the place and they're very hard for us to find where the lifts are when they're open. Oh, there's Mum and Elizabeth. They're good models. And when you press the button, you basically have to stand here and listen for the noise and run to wherever the lift is that's opened. Like this. Over here. See? And we can't find the lift. Is there anyone in it?
No.
And then the other problem is that these buttons are all touchpad. So even though they've got braille, you can't tell
You want me to do it?
which one you are pressing. 8, 7, 6. So I'm going to find 6 and press somewhere near there.
I'm done. 9's already pressed something.
But I don't know whether I've actually pressed it or not. So that's why it's hard for blind people to use the lifts on the ship. And I think that this is the end of the video for now about the cruise. I hope that you have enjoyed learning about some of the great accessibility things and some of the potentially not so great accessibility things on my recent cruise on the Golden Princess. Please remember to check out Judy's channel as well. I'm going to put a link in the description down below to her first video she did about the cruise. Judy is in a wheelchair and she has low vision as well, and she has or is doing a series of videos about accessibility from her point of view on our cruise, so please remember to check that out. Also, don't forget to go across to Blinky Blogs and check out my vlog series that I did on the cruise, just on our day-to-day, what we were doing and our experiences on the cruise. I will link the playlist down below. And remember to go and check out the Princess website if you want to have a look at some of the great accessibility-ness of it. And I don't know, maybe go find yourself a little holiday. So I hope that you have enjoyed learning about my cruise from an accessibility point of view, and I hope that I will see you all next time in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like this video, comment if you have any questions, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click the bell notifications to get updates on Mel's Blind Life. Thanks for watching. Bye.